Guys, I want to show you real quick how we run our lights on Wednesday nights. We use ShowXpress. You can see it here on the desktop. I have it up already, but you can double click on that to pull it up. And you'll see 4 tabs here at the top. You want to make sure you're on the Live tab. And down at the second level, you want to also make sure you're on the Live tab. And it's very simple. From this part, all you're doing is clicking the walk-in has some moving lights and some different stuff going on. The Welcome has lights on the lower stage and some house lights. Sermon has full house lights, lower stage, and some back colors. House is all the way on. House and stage both all the way on. A couple of flashes. They're just they don't stay on. They just click and flash. They're back lights, and then just a bunch of different settings that I've come up with here that work on a Wednesday night service very well. Then you can come over if you need to. Be careful not to change anything, but if you need to, you can come over. These are called macro buttons. You see the ones with the M's on them, and these others are files that I've made in the actual editor. And so, but if you come over, like for example, to say it says T12, this is all of our T12 controls. And so these all have little S's on them because they are files that I made here in the editor. I pulled up the individual DMX files, channels, and I set the these are all our T12s. I set the colors and everything that I wanted exactly, and I saved it as a file, and then I was able to import it here. Well, so then I have all of my T12s here. I've got some T12 motion stuff, so like all the T12s rotating on the dimmers or pulsing in the back. You come up and click haze. Same thing. I have some hazes here. These have faders on them, percentage faders, and so you can I like them about 50 and 100, and you can turn both of those on. That's going to be the fan and the haze coming out. And then you come to our static lights. You have our house lights. Again, I have a fader on that, and you turn that off and on. Stage down is some upper lights. We're actually not using those right at the moment, but our bar LEDs are the LEDs that shine on the art in the back, the white stuff in the back, and so you can mix and match those in different percentages. But back to the idea of the macro versus the little S, and so on the live, you can set all these however you want. You can turn things on and off, all these different areas, and then you can come over and you can save a macro button right here. And that's what the macros are. So when I hit the macro, if I hit a different macro over here, it changes. See, this is different than what it was just a minute ago. If I come back and I hit this one, now they're different again. So that's what the macros are doing. They're just changing all these buttons, and so just you have a basic understanding of how that works. So that being said, if you're here and you have build up and you're like, well, I don't want to change the whole scene. I like the way this looks, but maybe I need the stage lower on because it's not on, and there's a speaker down there. I can click these 2 buttons here. And just as an explanation of this, these bottom 5 here are all dimmer levels, and then the top are all colors that coordinate with it. So for example, on the far right here, these are our lower stage lights. So this is the dimmer for the lower stage lights, and you can choose the level you want off and on. And then this is the color. So you can do just a 3000K, which is a basic stage light, or you can mix and match your different colors to have a different color on there. I like the 3K for most of the things that we do. And so, yeah, so that explains how those work. But if you need to make an adjustment on the fly, you can do that, but then you can always come right back to a different scene, and it will change the entire scene. So that's how that works. One other thing, if you need to make several adjustments and you don't want it to be a bunch of changes going on, there's a little feature you can do. So let's say I have this right here, and I'm like, okay, I want to change the house lights, and I want to change the back bars and a few other things. So I'm going to hit this little pause button here, and I'm going to go to my statement. I want to turn these on, and static, I want to turn these on to 25% each-ish. And then I want to change the color of my motions to red. And then I hit the pause button, and it does all of that stuff at once. And you can see that it's done that. So, but that's how we do the controlling of the lights. There's one other thing I want to show you, and that is there's an app that goes along with ShowXpress. It is called the Live mobile app. And so if you go to iOS, I'm not sure if it's on Android or not, but you go to iOS store, App Store, and you can search for Live Mobile. This is the graphic, and you can download that for free. And then you want to set that up. So to set it up, once you download it, you're going to go to your iPhone settings. And there's 3 pieces of information that you're going to need to get from here. The first is under File Preferences. And over network, you'll need the IP address, not this, whatever's written up here, but whatever's written in the bottom here, the local IP. It's 10.0.0.192 for us. Right now, it may change at some point, but this computer is actually saved to that, so it shouldn't change. And then you'll need this external app port number, 7348. So you'll need to get those 2 numbers, and then you'll also need to come over in the Live tab here. It has to be in the Live tab. In this little menu, go to Live Settings, and you'll need to get the password that's right here, 1234. So once you have those items, you're going to put them into your phone. You're going to go to the Settings section of your phone. I'm going to show this video does it for us. He walks us through it.
We need to put this information within the app. So let's go back to the app. And to do this, we are simply going to go to Settings. We're going to go all the way down. You see Live Mobile.
Scroll down to your app under Settings, and then you have
see Live Mobile, Live IP address,
place for
Live
those.
Port, and Live Password.
And you can see there, it's hard, it's blurry, but you can see the address, port, and the password. Those are the 3 places. You put the information in. Once you put that in, you open the app, and you can load. And it's really cool. You can actually, you see everything on here everything on here that I've shared. This is another step I had to do, but I had to make visible on external app. You don't have to worry about that. It's done once and then it's finished. So you'll see something that says Wednesday. You'll see something that says bar LED. You'll see T12 motion, and so you can click on Wednesday, and you'll see all of these buttons, and you can click on whatever you need, and it will change the lights right there from your phone. So that's how we run lights on Wednesday night services. I didn't give you an actual walkthrough of what we do. So we start with usually a walk-in, and then we'll switch to welcome. And from there, we'll go into a worship setting. We usually just use a couple of scenes. We just kind of mix and match and pick what we want from here. I'll check it out before service and pick one at least, maybe 2 or 3 that I'll switch between. And then we'll change those up throughout the set. Once those are over, we'll usually use sermon for most of the rest of the service, and that allows us to, if I need to customize, I might come in here to static and change the lighting intensities, or come into T12 and mess with this a little bit if I have to, but typically I don't need to. Usually sermon takes care of everything. It has the house lights on, and it has our back on and the stage lower on, and that's all we need for most of the rest of the sermon. If you need to turn the lights down for a video or something, you can just hit whatever button is on and it will undo it, which means it's turning everything off, and then click it again once that video is over, and you'll be good to go. So that's how we run lights on Wednesday nights, and hope you enjoyed.